Hello, everyone, and welcome into another stream here on the Sports Daily Media Network YouTube channel. Tonight we've got some live commentary to Michigan's visit to Mackey Arena to play Purdue. We have got the Michigan Wolverines, who are leading the Big Ten at 14-1, and Purdue just a couple of spots behind at 11-3. Feels like Purdue's going to have to get this one to open up the Big Ten title race because other than Michigan, every team has 3 or more losses. Coming into this game, Michigan has won their last 10 since their loss at home to Wisconsin, including a 30-point victory against UCLA on Saturday. And then in terms of Purdue, they seem to have shaken off their tough spell there at the end of January where they lost 3 games in a row. They are on a 4-game win streak, coming off of back-to-back impressive road wins over Nebraska and Iowa. So this is a big one. Feels like the Big Ten title race will take a turn today, where Michigan will either take a bigger grip on it or Purdue will open this thing up. It's Matt Painter in his 21st season for Purdue, Dusty May in his second year for Michigan. There are no surprises in the starting lineups. It's Braden Smith, Lawyer, Cox, Kaufman, Wren, and Clough for Purdue, Lenneborg, Johnson, Mara, Cadeau, and Burnett for Michigan. And we are underway, and it's Michigan who will control the tip. Elliot Cadeau, guarded by Braden Smith. Lenneborg's going to take an opening triple, and that's off, and it's rebounded by Oscar Clough. Oh, loose ball situation, ball's on the ground, and Purdue corrals it. Braden Smith loses it. Ball's on the floor. It's back to CKR. Now Lawyer. Now CJ Cox will finally get it over for Purdue. So a hectic, energetic start to this one. See what Purdue can do on their first possession. Smith, pump fakes. Has Mara on him. He's got a mismatch. What can he do with it? Smith drives. Smith lays it up, and he missed the layup. But he gets his own rebound, but it's a loose ball foul. So Braden Smith missing the layup, and Purdue yet to be on the board. Trying to find the right gold color here for Purdue. It's a little bit too... I mean, that's as close as we're going to get, probably. So Michigan, with the ball here on their second possession. And it's Cadeau guarded by Braden. CJ Cox has taken the Axel assignment so far. It's Damari Burnett now on the drive. Now it's Merez guarded by Lawyer. There's a little bit of a mismatch here. What can they do with it? He passes it out to Cadeau. Elliot Cadeau, shake and bake. Cadeau lays it up, and that is way off. Nice start to this one defensively for the Boilers. Smith drives past Clough. Now at the three-point line. Smith has Mara on him again, so a lot of switching. Purdue wants the ball in his hands. He's going to drive, kicks it. Kaufman Wren for 3 from the wing. No. Rebounded by Merez, and Michigan will bring it the other way. This game's still waiting for its first points. The first 4 shots have not gone down. Lenneborg guarded by Lawyer. This is going to be a tough matchup for Purdue all day. They're going to send him right into the double and try and rotate out of it. It's a good job here so far. Cadeau now driving. Now Merez, he's going to take the triple, and it's off the mark. And Braden with the rebound. Purdue in transition, and Braden's pass is knocked out of bounds. And they're going to say this is off of Purdue, so it'll go back to Michigan. Braden Smith tried to hit CJ Cox there. That ball was off of Cadeau by the looks of it, but nope, they're going to give it back to Purdue. All right, so they did give it back to Purdue. So Lenneborg now on Braden Smith. Lawyer now coming to get it. Lawyer, free throw line mid-range. That's good. And Purdue is on the board first. Fletcher Lawyer with the first basket of the game. Lawyer seems like an important piece to all this today. Feels like he's got to He's got to be a threat offensively because of how good the Michigan forwards are. Mara. Now they're looking for Merez down low, and they throw it out of bounds, and it's a turnover. So a really good start to the game for Purdue on the defensive end. Merez was there. The pass was probably there if it was accurate, but it wasn't, and it goes out of bounds. So Braden bringing the ball forward for Purdue. Lawyer for three. Yes! Fletcher Lawyer from downtown, and Purdue is out to a 5-0 lead. Fletcher Lawyer, 38.8% from three. That's fourth in the Big Ten. Cadeau now throws it up to Mara, and he slams it home. So a little middle ball screen action there for the Wolverines. And Mara with the first basket for Michigan. That's going to be a hard action to cover if you're Purdue. Lawyer pump fakes through the double team, and he is fouled. So that'll be the first foul on Michigan. See who they get with that. So Braden Smith now for Purdue. Gets Kaufman-Renn in the short roll. The push shot from the free throw line, that is good. So Trey Kaufman-Renn on the board for Purdue. And the Boilers are out to a 7-2 lead. Cadeau now, side ball screen. Yaxel, now Burnett from the corner for three. That's no good. Rebounded by Yaxel, now back out to Cadeau. He's going to let it fly. No. Rebounded by Johnson. So a couple of offensive rebounds so far for the Wolverines. It's Cadeau on the drive. Kicks it to Lendenborg. Corner three. Yes. So Michigan makes their third three-pointer of that possession. And it's back down to a 2-point lead. So Roddy Gale into the game for the Wolverines. He's going to be covering Braden Smith here. They run a little bit of a floppy action for TKR. He loses it, gets it back. Backing down Yaxel. He turns him. He flips it up. No good. Clough cannot get the rebound, and it goes out of bounds, but it is going to stay with Purdue. So an energetic and up and down start to this one. It's 7-5 Purdue at the under 16 timeout. We'll be right back. We're back from the under 16 timeout. It's Purdue ball underneath. He gets it into TKR. Kaufman-Renn flips it up off the backboard, and no good. Lendenborg will bring it the other way for the Wolverines. Lendenborg kicks it to Roddy Gale, corner three. That is good. And Michigan have their first lead of the ball game. So Roddy Gale giving a little bit of scoring punch off the bench. Michigan really, really challenging a lot of these passes for Purdue. They're getting very physical. Now they got Lendenborg with the foul there. But Purdue having trouble just completing pretty basic passes right now. And Braden Smith. Short rolls it to TKR. Kaufman-Renn slides through and he lays it in. So nice little counter there to the Michigan ball screen defense. And Purdue takes the lead. Cadeau looking for Lendenborg down low. He's got Braden Smith on him. That's a mismatch. He wants him to throw it up. Hard hedge. Cadeau gets it to Lendenborg down the corner, and Braden Smith pokes it out of bounds. It'll stay here with Michigan. But with no Mara in there, Michigan's interior defense does get a little bit weaker. So that is something to look out for. And the ball is in, and it's in the backcourt. It's a short clock for Michigan here. Burnett's going to have to do something. Cadeau from way downtown. That is off. Rebounded by Merez Johnson. He flips it up and is fouled. So Michigan, 4 offensive rebounds already in this one. The size appears to be a little bit of an issue. So Merez Johnson to the line for 2. 13.5 points, 7.2 rebounds for the Illinois transfer as he makes the first free throw. So Merez taking his time at the free throw line here. And the second one is good, which gives Michigan the lead. So Mara and Kaysen will check in for Michigan, and it'll be Burnett and Johnson who go to the bench. And Braden Smith brings it forward for Purdue. Guarded by Roddy Gale. They get it to Jacobson and now TKR. Now it's Braden again. Smith finds Kaufman-Renn inside. He flips it up and in. So over the long arms of Adai Mara, and TKR gives Purdue the lead. 984 assists for Braden now as he's closing in on the 1,000 mark and the record. If he continues at the pace he's at, he's going to get it. Lendenborg now driving on Jacobson. Lendenborg flips it up. No. Loose ball situation is recovered by Daniel Jacobson. So Purdue forced the miss and they get the rebound. Braden now driving. TKR free throw line push shot off the back iron. No. Rebounded by Mara. And Kaysen will bring it forward for Michigan. Kaysen driving on Jakari Harris. Kaysen all the way to the hoop. He is fouled by Daniel Jacobson. Unable to maintain verticality there. Oh. Maybe he was. Kaysen does use his off arm to initiate the contact. That is probably not a foul. And LJ Kaysen is pretty lucky here to be on the line for 2, and he makes the first. So Lawyer heads to the bench for Purdue, and the second free throw for Kaysen rattles in. So Bobby Hurley leads the way with 1,076 assists. Braden Smith is within 100. And if they can play some Big Ten tournament games and some NCAA tournament games, and he keeps at this pace, he's going to get it. TKR now driving. TKR pump fakes over Mara. No. He gets his own rebound. He turns up again. It's blocked this time by Mara, and he gets it out to Lendenborg in transition. Braden Smith picking up Lendenborg. It's a mismatch. He throws it up, and he lays it in. So Yaxel Lendenborg converts from close range, and Michigan take a 14-11 lead. So Omer Meyer checks in the game for Purdue, and he's going to run the point this possession. I get it to Braden now. A little bit of a double stagger. He splits it, goes inside. Free throw line jumper, no. Rebounded by Kaysen. And Michigan come in transition. Some great stuff. And he throws it up to Mara, and he lays it in. So a nice play there in transition by Michigan, and they've extended the lead out to 5. So Michigan's defense obviously has been very good so far. Purdue's has been good, but a few easier attempts here these last few possessions. How can Purdue counter this? Harris now looking for TKR inside. He throws it, and there's a foul. It'll be on Roddy Gale. So 11:23 remaining in this first half. It's Michigan that have a 16-11 lead at Mackey Arena. We'll be back after the break. We are back from the break. It's 16-11 Michigan. Purdue's offense has not been able to generate the easy looks that they usually get. It's been it's been pretty tough shots, and they've made a couple of them, and then also they've missed a couple open ones too. But they're going to have to get better shots if they're going to continue in this game, because Michigan's size is already an issue. They're struggling on the boards already. They're showing Zach Edey in the crowd, the back-to-back National Player of the Year for Purdue. Nobody has more points in Purdue history than Zach Edey. So Omer Meyer will take it out of bounds for Purdue, and it's Jack Benter in the game for the Boilers, his first appearance. So Braden throws it into Clough. He's got Yaxel on him. He wants to clear out. Clough going to work on Yaxel. Gets him up in the air, flips it up. No. And another good look that does not go in for Purdue, and Michigan can push. Trey McKenney into the game for the Wolverines for the first time. Yaxel, Tamara. Nice ball movement here for Michigan, and it's Roddy Gale who lays it in. So Michigan up 18-11. They've got an 8-0 run over the last 2 minutes, and Purdue needs to stop the bleeding here with a basket. Just 11 points about a quarter of the way through this one. Smith on the drive, lays it up, and it's missed. Another missed short shot by Purdue. And Michigan can push in transition. Lendenborg has it, guarded by Braden Smith, and he's going to back him down. The double comes, the ball movement. Back to Lendenborg for three. No. Rebound is tipped out by Mara. And Kaysen now for three. Yes. And LJ Kaysen gives Michigan a 10-point lead. So the Wolverines throw the first punch. Not exactly what me or Joe Mead predicted, but they're up by 10. Braden Smith now coming to get it. Pump fakes the mid-range, kicks it to Meyer. He's going to take the three. That is off. And it's rebounded by Roddy Gale. He's going to drive in transition, and they're going to call it jump ball. So a really nice play there by C.J. Cox to stop the break and to get his team another possession. But it's some great defense for Michigan combined with a couple of missed shots around the rim for Purdue that they just cannot miss them if they want to compete in this game. And Braden Smith checks out of the game for the first time. It looks like teams are going to go to their huddles here. Dusty May's trying to argue that he fouled them. He didn't. That's a nice play by C.J. Cox. He sort of brings the ball right into C.J. Cox's hand, and then he keeps his arm there. So it looks like Michigan has asked for this to be reviewed. That's pretty silly from Dusty May, to be honest. That was a clean play. Maybe they look for a hook and hold in there, but I don't see it. Or no, they're going to be reviewing a different play. They're going to be reviewing that on the rebound before Gale got it in transition. And they're going to try and see if Clough pulls somebody down here with a hook and hold, or Benter maybe. I personally don't see it there. So Bender comes in. McKinney's trying to box. He's trying to get him around him. Yeah, that is not a hook and hold by the definition of it. So this should just be a play on. Unless they call it on McKinney, who maybe tries to pull him down. But I'm not too sure about this one, and I'm not sure why it's taken so long. All three referees are over there at the table taking their time here. They're thinking about something here because they're discussing it, and This would be a really harsh hook and hold on Jack Benter. Now going back to the table again here. And so Michigan, this is counting as a challenge for Michigan. See what the referee says here. So they're calling Oscar Clough for the flagrant one. And Trey McKinney makes the first free throw. I didn't see anything from Oscar Clough there. I'm a little bit surprised with that. Um, that's an unfortunate situation there for Purdue. And McKinney to the line for two, his second, and he makes them both. So Michigan has stretched this out to a 12-point lead. And they're showing the replay again here. Clough is inside of Mara here for position. Oh man, that has got to be one of the worst calls that I've ever seen after a replay like that. And Cheddar in the corner hits the triple, and Michigan is up by 15, so they take advantage. Or they're going to say his foot was on the line. They take advantage of the extra few possessions there by the referee and lead by 14. Now Meyer steps into a triple, and he hits it in. Purdue desperately needed that one. And they throw it up to Merez inside. He lays it in for two. So Michigan getting to the rim at ease here, and Purdue struggling for just about every basket. Still going back to that flagrant one. Oscar Clough had position. He was boxing him out. I don't understand how that's a flagrant one. But after all, the hook and hold rule is a thing because of Purdue. So maybe it's right that they had one go against them. All right, so Purdue's down by 13 here. They've got a short clock with no Braden Smith on the floor. Meyer has to drive. Meyer floats it up and in. So Omer Meyer with the last 5 points for Purdue, and they're back within 11. So Purdue trying to get the Mackey crowd into this. It's been a really impressive start to this game by Michigan. Michigan has the ability to just go on these runs. And we've seen it over the last two games where they found themselves down double digits to Northwestern in the second half. Where they... Oh, and Merez stepped over the line here, so this is a violation, and it's back to Purdue. But 21 straight possessions to turn a double-digit deficit into a double-digit winning margin as Kaufman-Renn hits the hook shot. They've scored on 21 straight possessions to get to Northwestern, and then what was a 2-point game at halftime against UCLA became a 30-point final. So Michigan's ability to go on crazy runs is clearly not there. So a missed three and a rebound, another offensive rebound by Michigan, and it goes to McKinney, and he hits it from downtown. So Michigan taking advantage of the offensive boards here, and they extend their lead back out to 12. They're looking for Kaufman-Renn inside. He can't get it to him. They hit it to Meyer in the corner. Pump fake, sidestep, triple, short. Rebounded by Merez. McKinney in transition here. Fires it inside to a wide open Yaxel, and it's blocked by Jacobson. Nice recovery there by Daniel to get back in position for the block. Meyer now in transition. Initial nice stop there by... He fires it into Jacobson. He turns around, lays it in off the window. It's good. So Daniel Jacobson with a nice block and then a nice bucket to get Purdue within 10. And now it looks like that corner three earlier where they only gave him two is actually going to be a three. So they have 31 points now. Kaysen on the drive, shovels it to Merez out of bounds. It'll stay here with Purdue. Oh, no, with Michigan. So 6:48 remaining. That means it's time for the under 8 timeout. Michigan in control so far at Mackey. We'll be back after the break. So we are back from the break here. They're showing the replay, and the reason why Clough got that flagrant one was because he tripped McKinney walking by. And didn't see that, thought they called the hook and hold. That obviously would have been really soft, but that trip appears to be the right call. Um, Unclear if it was on purpose or not, but he probably didn't have to do that. So yeah, you can see why that was called. Michigan have the ball now, up 11 here. This end of the first half seems really important for Purdue. They got to pull it closer for a chance in the second half. Cadeau, step in triple. That is good. So Elliott Cadeau from downtown in Michigan is up by 14. Smith down to TKR down low. TKR pump fakes, fades away. No. Jacobson tips it up. That is no good. And McKinney coming the other way. They skip the pass. Cadeau to Lendenborg for three. That is good. And Yaxel Lendenborg and Michigan have a 17-point lead at Mackey Arena with 6 minutes to go in the first half. Lawyer now looking to drive on Lendenborg, throws it into Jacobson. Jacobson turns around, misses. Comes right back to him. Daniel Jacobson throws it up, no good, but Kaufman Wren tips it in. So back down to a 15-point game. McKinney now looking for Lendenborg and now Cadeau. Elliott Cadeau fires it into Lendenborg. He flips it up and in. So Yaxel Lendenborg over the tall Daniel Jacobson for two. And it's back up to 17. Braden Smith drives, pump fakes, throws it out of bounds. Turnover. So this is not exactly what the Mackey Arena crowd had in mind when this game started, and it's been a thorough dominating performance from the Wolverines so far. They've been excellent defensively, and they've started to hit some jump shots, which is why this lead is extended. Now Cadeau, guarded by Mayer, kicks it to Burnett in the corner. Burnett drives baseline, kicks it to Johnson. Johnson kicks it out to Lendenborg. Nice scramble defense so far from Purdue, but they leave Burnett wide open in the corner. The three is no good, but it's recovered by Michigan. Lendenborg, mid-range, no. Rebounded by Mara, and another offensive rebound. Now Burnett's going to tee up a three, and it's good. Michigan leads by 20 here in the first half at Mackey Arena. 4:17 remaining. Purdue and Matt Painter have had enough. They're going to call a timeout. This will be the final media timeout of the first half. Very, very dominating performance so far from Michigan. We'll be back soon. We are back. 4:17 remaining in this first half. Michigan have silenced what looks like a great crowd at Mackey Arena. Purdue down by 20. You don't want to say that this game is over right now, but Purdue's going to have to significantly cut this before halftime, and that's not how they're going to do it. Elliot Cadeau picks off that pass from Mayer. Mara short roll, and they turn it right back over. Jakari Harris in transition. Harris recycles it. Lawyer for three. Did they need this? And they get it. Fletcher Lawyer from downtown, and it's down to 17. I think 13 should be the goal at halftime for Purdue. If they can get it down to there, there's at least half a chance that they can win in the second half. If it's 20 or 22, then I think that's wraps. But Mara now backing down Clough, and they're just going to let him go one-on-one, and he's going to lay it in. So that is about as easy as it gets for Adai Mara. And Michigan back up by 19. Seems like Purdue's going to have to hit some triples to get back in this game. Now, we know Lawyer can do that, but who else on Purdue can consistently make the outside shot? No Braden Smith on the floor. It's going to be Meyer who takes his triple, and he nails it. So, Omer Meyer from way downtown moving to his side, and it's down to 16. 2.5 minutes remaining in this first half. Can Purdue pull this thing closer, or Michigan going to continue to be dominant? They get it down low to Mara. Purdue's going to have to bring another defender here. Mara on the spin. He is fouled. So Purdue cannot afford to play one-on-one in the post. They just can't. And if it means Michigan's going to tee up threes, well, then I think they're just going to have to hope they miss, because Mara is going to score or get fouled every single time unless he blows an easy shot, which he doesn't typically do. So Adai Mara, the transfer from UCLA, to the line for two. The 7'4" sophomore from Spain misses the first. And Mara misses. No. And TKR takes it off of the rim. That was not going to go in. But TKR takes it off the rim, and that free throw is going to count. So that's got to be the first time that I've ever seen that happen. That was a free throw that was not going in, but Mara is going to get credit for it because TKR was a little bit impatient. Michigan was all retreating there. They weren't even trying to get the rebound. That's just a little bit of a lack of concentration there from TKR. All right, Meyer now in the middle ball screen. He's got the defender on his hip. He takes the mid-range. That cannot get the roll, and it's out of bounds. It'll stay here with Purdue. So 2:20 remaining in this first half. Michigan up by 17. The body language for Purdue is not great, honestly. A lot of, heads dropping, hands on knees. They're going to need a lot of energy to get back in this game, and it's going to have to start pretty soon. Braden Smith now drives, kicks it to Harris. He's going to take the triple, and it's off the back iron. No good. Burnett with the rebound, and Michigan's going to bring it the other way. Roddy Gale. Lenenborg now has it. Cadeau. Now it's Mara guarded by Jacobson. Jacobson has to be in because Clough has two fouls. Mara to the hoop again, and one. Adai Mara. Putting this team on his back. He is nearing a first half double-double here. Yeah, that is just... Yeah, you want to bring the guy out with some length? I'm going to send him back to the weight room. Adai Mara has been incredibly impressive so far. He's got 9 points and 7 rebounds. And make that 10. So just like that, the lead is back up to 20. Now, Braden Smith and Purdue, this is not the first time this has happened this year. If you remember, Iowa State came in here and sort of punked Purdue early and never let them back in the game. Braden's going to take the triple, and it's short. Rebound is corralled by Kaysen, but he turns it over right to Harris, and Purdue get it back. So a poor job there by Kaysen. Now Harris on the drive. Harris slicing inside. TKR pump fake. Trying to back down Mara. TKR pump fakes, and it's blocked. Adai Mara, another tremendous play for the Spaniard. And Michigan can extend their lead here as there's just over a minute remaining in the first half. Cadeau driving. Cadeau flips it up way off. Benter with the rebound, and Purdue will look to push. Braden Smith in transition. Braden Smith slicing through. Benter needs to take the triple. That is off. And there's going to be a loose ball foul on Michigan, so it'll stay with Purdue. 56.2 remaining in this first half. It has been just about as dominant of a performance as you can expect here. This is the number 1 team in the country, but Purdue is not too bad themselves at number 7 in the last AP poll. And this is definitely a jarring scoreline to look at if you haven't been watching. Lawyer now has it, and they double him. Nope, they back off. Now it's TKR who spins. TKR lays it up and in. So nice patience there by Kaufman-Renn. And it's 48-30. Now Cadeau all the way downhill. Cadeau lays it up, no good, out of bounds. They're going to give this to Michigan. 37.5 remaining in the first half. Cadeau looked like he beat the defenders there, and it looks like he had a layup, but it was just not well executed. McKenney now driving on Braden, pulls up from the free throw line. That's short, and it's rebounded by Lawyer. Purdue is going to hold for 1 here if Matt Painter can get his team's attention, and now he will. So Braden Smith is going to hold for 1. Can Purdue hit a shot to get some momentum into the half? Braden wants a screen. From TKR. Smith drives through. Smith pump fakes. Kaufman-Renn pump fakes again. Throws it up, and it's good. So a little bit of an awkward shot there by Kaufman-Renn, but it goes in, and that gets it to halftime. So a dominating, impressive first half from Michigan. They lead Purdue by 16 at the break. We'll be back in about 15 minutes for the second half. So we are back for the second half here. It was a dominant first half by Michigan. They lead by 16, but it'll be Purdue who controls the ball first to start the second half. Are they going to get a reaction and make this a game, or will Michigan continue to dominate, or will it just kind of stay in between? Take KR has Yaxel on the post. He flips it up, no good. Jacobson starts the second half over Oscar Clough. That is definitely a little bit of a message that Matt Painter's sending, but TKR's gotta convert these shots from inside. And the ball is tipped out of bounds. It'll stay here with Michigan. But from a defensive point of view, Purdue's got to rebound the ball better. From an offensive point of view, they've got to stop missing these easy shots around the rim. So the ball is thrown inbounds and knocked out by Smith, so it'll stay with Michigan. Now it's to Merez, wide open for Cadeau. It's a breakdown for Purdue, and it's a three ball. Elliot Cadeau from downtown, and Michigan strike first blood here in the second half. Smith now to Lawyer. Boy, do they need this. It's short. And Cadeau with the rebound and is pushing it out in transition. Cadeau throws it up to Mara, who tips it up. And he still has it, Mara. He's stripped, but it's knocked out of bounds by Braden Smith, and it'll be going to Purdue. Oh, no, they're going to give this to Purdue. So Braden Smith is 0 points in this basketball game. Obviously, he's got to be a little bit of a threat. You've got to have all five be a threat against this Michigan defense. You can't just have one main guy trying to run the show because they'll be able to stop that. You've got to have multiple people who can score, and very few teams do. So it'll be Purdue basketball here, down 19 with 19 minutes to go. 51-32 Michigan at Mackey Arena. Braden now driving, pulling up over Mara. That is a tough shot by Braden Smith, but it goes. And he is off the schneid. Yeah, he has Mara on him. He knows he's the bigger defender. He steps back. He has to arc this thing way up there. But it goes down. So an important basket there by Braden. Cadeau is stripped by Cox. And they're going to call Cadeau with the foul. It's a pretty good foul by Cadeau because it would have been a pick six for Purdue. And they're going to need to string together quite a few good plays like that here to get this thing back close. It's not an insurmountable lead, but based on what we've seen this game, they're going to have to do some things that they haven't done all game. Feels like Purdue's going to have to get something from Lawyer or Braden Smith. Smith drives it in. Kaufman-Renn, pump fake, lays it up, and no good. But he is fouled, so he'll go to the line for two. Seems like when Purdue can be moving offensively and they're accurate with their passes, they can get some good looks here. Especially with Adai Mara off the floor. But Kaufman-Renn probably still should have converted that even though he was fouled. He's 7 of 16 on the day. For the types of shots that he is taking, he's got to be a little bit better than that. But the first free throw is good. Michigan has had a big lead on the road before and let it slip. Now, against Michigan State, they did get it back after letting it slip. But it's down to 15 here. A 4-3 start to the second half for Purdue. Can they continue to get stops on the defensive end? It's Merez driving on Jacobson, and they're going to call a foul on the floor on Purdue. Looks Looks like Cadeau set the screen there, and Jacobson just knocked him over. And that's going to be a foul. So Michigan throws it into Yaxel. Lenenborg guarded by Cox. A little bit of a height disadvantage there by Purdue, but they've been rolling with a smaller defender on Yaxel all game. He drives it in, it's turned over. Purdue can look in transition here, and they can cut this a little bit closer. 15 is the margin. They needed a good start to the second half here, and they're a few good possessions away from doing that. He gets it down low to Kaufman-Renn, guarded by Namari Burnett. It's a mismatch here for Purdue. Can they exploit it? He fires it over to Cox. Wide open triple. No. But it's rebounded by Kaufman-Renn, and it looks like there's going to be a foul on the floor here by Roddy Gale. So the Purdue fans appreciating the effort. It's definitely not for a lack of trying here for Purdue. Kaufman-Renn is putting it all on the line for his team. So Lawyer will take it out of bounds for Purdue. This crowd wants to get back in the game. Can they make enough shots to make that happen? He throws it into Kaufman-Renn. Purdue going extremely small here with TKR at the 5 with Mara off the floor for Michigan. Braden Smith jumps baseline, and he is fouled by Merez. So a great pump fake there by Braden, and he's going to go to the line for 2. So he gets Merez in the air, and then after that it was always going to be a foul. So Braden to the line for the first time today. And he hits the first. Jacobson back in the game for Purdue. So Benter to the bench. We have not seen Oscar Clough in the second half yet. You have to wonder if maybe that tripping flagrant one had something to do with it. 2 for 2 for Braden Smith, and it's down to a 13-point game. Purdue needed to win this first period before the media timeout, and they are so far. No points for over 2 minutes for Michigan. Burnett comes around the screen, gives it to Cadeau. They're looking inside to Merez. Nope, now it's Burnett is fouled by Cox. That'll be the third foul on Purdue already. So CJ Cox gets his arm in there, and he has his hand on the ball. That's probably not a foul, but it's what was called. So Cadeau in Michigan here, they throw it over to Yaxel, and Braden Smith pokes it free. Another Michigan turnover. That can happen from time to time. It's Lawyer, pump faking, takes the triple, air ball. So a little bit of a poor shot there by Fletcher Lawyer, and it goes back to Michigan. Purdue's fans on their feet trying to get their team back into this one. It's Roddy Gale, one-on-one with Braden. He shakes him off, and then he goes to back him down. He spins, kicks it to Burnett. Good rotation here defensively by Purdue. Cadeau's going to take the long triple, and he silences the Mackey crowd. Elliot Cadeau from downtown, and it's back up to 16. And it's not a bad defensive possession there by Purdue, but Cadeau just makes a shot. And Braden turns it over, and it's a pick 6 for Namari Burnett and Michigan. So all that work from Purdue in the start of the second half, and it's back up to 18. Smith, pump fake, gets it to TKR, guarded by Roddy Gale. Spins, lays it up off the window, it's good. So TKR starting to get a little bit of a rhythm here on offense. And Michigan leads by 16. We're under 15 and a half minutes left, so the next whistle will be a timeout. And it's another turnover by Michigan. No, it's not. Merez gets it back. Braden gets his hand on that. Gale drives to the hoop, blocked by Jacobson. Lawyer has it. Now Purdue can push in transition. Braden Smith now guarded by Elliot Cadeau. Feels like Braden Smith's going to have to hit some outside shots here for Purdue. It can't all be Lawyer. Kaufman-Renn now taking it to Cadeau. Shimmy off the window. It is good. So Trey Kaufman-Renn finding a little bit of rhythm here And it's back down to 14. And Michigan and Dusty May are going to use a timeout. So this will be the first called timeout of the second half. This will be that media timeout, and then we'll have one just after play resumes. But it's Michigan 56, Purdue 42 with 14 minutes left. We'll be back after the break. And we are back here. It's a missed shot by Michigan, and Purdue will bring it the other way. It feels like this arena is a powder keg. It's ready to burst. If Purdue can get it within 10, it's a mid-range from Braden. That's his shot, but it doesn't go down. Michigan look to push in transition. Burnett slices. Cadeau drives. Cadeau with the floater. That is good. So Elliot Cadeau hitting a couple of silencers so far today. And Michigan is back up by 16. Lawyer coming off the screen. Lawyer loses it, and he is fouled. So it'll stay here with Purdue. 13 and 54 remaining. And at this point, it starts to become a little bit of a math problem here. You know, I would say by the under 8 timeout, you definitely want to get it to single digits. That should be the next goal. But this is the under 16 media timeout. We'll be back right after this. We are back here from the under, I guess, 14 timeout, but two quick media timeouts there in succession with the called one by Michigan and then the media. It's Purdue ball down 16 here with 13:54 remaining. Purdue fighting hard to make this a game, but it appears that they're just sort of treading water here down by this 15-20 mark. TKR going to work on Yaxel. TKR loses his balance, flips it up, and it's no good. So an unfortunate miss from close range there for TKR. Painter wanted a foul. There certainly was a lot of contact, but he still got to finish that either way. Kaysen now on the screen. Kaysen flips it up to Merez, and it's out of bounds off of Michigan. So another Wolverine turnover here. And not only was that a foul on Merez Johnson, but he went through the net to deter the shot, so that should have been a goaltend anyway. Braden Smith now probing. Smith looking for TKR. Now Harris coming off of the screen. Now it's TKR in the post again. Backing down Merez. TKR spins. TKR lays it up and in. So Trey Kaufman-Renn taking an incredibly high amount of shots this game, but that's how Purdue's going to try to attack this Michigan defense. Yaxel drives baseline. Yaxel throws it off of Benter, and it's Michigan ball. So it seems like Michigan is probably content with letting TKR just go one-on-one and take a bunch of tough twos. Now, they're probably not going to come back by doing that, but they're certainly going to be more efficient than they have been already. But Michigan ball underneath here. They're up by 14. Or it's not underneath, really. It's in the corner. Mara comes back into the game after being out for quite a while. Clough makes his first appearance of the second half. Cadeau to the hoop, lays it off the window and in. So Elliot Cadeau with the burst to lay it in for two. Cadeau has 13 points in this one. Braden Smith is going to take the triple, and this one goes. So boy, did Purdue need that one. And they seem to be creeping just a little bit closer here. Can they get that kill shot type run to make this a game? Michigan up 13. It's been as high as 20. Cadeau turns around the screen. Cadeau, another floater. Yes. So Elliot Cadeau starting to take over a little bit here for Michigan. 15.6 assists for Cadeau already. Braden refuses the screen, throws it into Clough, pump fakes, and Mara with the foul. So a nice job there by Clough and Braden with that little inside middle ball screen that we've seen them run with a ton of different players over the years. But 11:43 remaining with that foul means it's time for the under 12 timeout. We'll be back after this. Oh, we are back from the under 12 timeout. It is two free throws here for Oscar Clough and Purdue as they try and claw a little bit closer, and the first one is no good. And you have to string together probably 5, 6 possessions here with makes, and then if you can get stops on half the other end, then maybe you can pull this thing closer. But Clough makes the second one to go 1 for 2. And Purdue is within 14. That is Clough's first point of the ball game. So Cadeau is dead here. Now it's Lendenborg in the corner. Looking for Merez. More minutes without a Daimara on the floor. Interesting here for Michigan. McKenney now. Drive, step back, triple, short. Rebounded by Kaufman-Renn. Purdue can look to push in transition. Braden drives, loses it. Yaxel takes it from him. LJ Kaysen driving in transition. He lays it up and in. Nice patience there by LJ Kaysen to lay it in. And unfortunately for Braden Smith, this has been, one of his worst games in a Purdue uniform. A lot of turnovers, not a lot of points, and unfortunately, they're down big. 64-48 here. 10.5 minutes remaining. Kaufman-Renn going to work inside, flips it up with his left off the window, and it's in. So a nice job by Trey Kaufman-Renn here to sort of steady his own ship offensively. He missed a lot of good looks. He's starting to make them now. Lendenborg now guarded by Kaufman-Renn. Crossing over, a couple of dribbles. Back out to Kaysen. LJ Kaysen crosses over. Ball's on the floor. And it's a jump ball. It will stay here with Michigan, but there's only 6 or 7 seconds left on the shot clock. So Jakari pokes that free, and then Kaysen and Meyer hit the deck, and it's a tie-up. So nice play there by Harris. So Cadeau bringing forward, short clock. He throws it over to Kaysen. Kaysen drives baseline. Kaysen floater. Yes! LJ Kaysen with the shot clock beater. And the lead is back up to 16 for Michigan. Just they keep coming at you. When you think you have a little bit of a run, they hit a big shot at the end of the shot clock to stop it. Braden Smith takes the triple and he hits. So Purdue's offense starting to come along a little bit here. But they've got to pair it with some stops on the defensive end to bring this thing closer. Cadeau beats the roll. McKenney, wing 3. Yes, Trey McKenney from downtown. And Michigan is back up by 16. Just some soul-crushing three-pointers and big-time shots here for Michigan. Braden, free throw line jumper, no. Rebounded by Kaufman-Renn, and he calls a timeout on the floor. So a nice play there by TKR to save the possession. But Purdue is running out of time. It feels like they're playing much better this half, yet we're right where we were at halftime, where Michigan was leading by 16. Half the second half has gone by, and we're still here. So Michigan leads 69-53. We're going to take a short break. All right, we're back underway here after the quick timeout. Braden Smith and Purdue trail by 16 with 9 minutes left. Coffin Wren now going to work down low, guarded by Kaysen. The fadeaway is an air ball, but it's an on-the-floor foul by Merez Johnson, so it'll stay here with Purdue. Merez does not like that call. But it probably saved him 2 points because Jakari Harris got it, and he flipped it up and in. So 8:48 remaining in this one, in Mackey Arena. Purdue has already lost a couple of times at home this year. They lost to Iowa State, like I mentioned earlier, and they also lost to Illinois, and Keaton Wagler scored 46. So this would be their third loss at home, and that does not happen very often, especially recently under Matt Painter and the Boilers. So Oscar Clough to the line for a 1-1, and he gets the roll. So Purdue already in the bonus. Just 2 fouls on the Boilers in the second half. So maybe Purdue can get back in this game by getting to the free throw line. And the second free throw is missed. And Michigan bring it the other way. So Will Cheddar in the game. We haven't seen him much today. Merez now taking it on Clough. Now he hands it off to Kaysen. Short roll for Merez. He lays it. Oh, no, he misses. It's a wide open layup that he missed. And lucky for Purdue there. Braden Smith bringing it the other way for the Boilers. And Purdue needs the threes, and I think Michigan knows that because they're running them off pretty hard. Clough going to work inside. Michigan trying not to foul. Clough short arms the layup. And Michigan brings it the other way. So McKinney now going to work on Meyer. And now it's Kaysen. LJ Kaysen's had a really nice game here, especially in the second half. Kaysen now gets the switch on Meyer. They short roll it, and Braden Smith picks it off, and that's going to be a foul on Merez Johnson. So Braden Smith is going to be going to the free throw line after the under 8 media timeout. It's Michigan 69, Purdue 54, 7.5 minutes to go. So we are back from our break, and it's Braden Smith at the line. Purdue down by 15 with a chance to make it 13 with Braden at the line. And the first free throw is good. And the second one is good as well. And Michigan will bring the ball forward. Do Purdue have one last push? Or are Michigan... Oh, it's a pick six for Oscar Clough. Great job from him. And he pokes it free, and then he gets it back, and he lays it up and in. So not the cleanest fast break there by Oscar Clough, but he still ends up with 2 points. And they're going to get CJ Cox with a little bit of a bump here. That's okay. They have the fouls to give. But they've cut it to 11 here. I think the goal should be 6 or 7 points by the under 4. But Michigan, on the other hand, has also taken the foot off the gas a little bit here. Mara hasn't played a lot, and he's still not in. So Gale now driving baseline. He's picked up his dribble. He throws it to Lendeborg. Now McKinney from the corner. That is good. My goodness. Trey McKinney. And just like that, it's back to 14. And every time it feels like the crowd in Purdue want to get back in the game, Michigan hits a dagger. 72-58. They go back to Kaufman-Renn down low. It's Merez now guarding him. Kaufman-Renn backing him down. He flips it up, and it's no good. And the ball's on the floor, and it's corralled by Michigan. So great defensive rebounding there for the Wolverines. Yaxel looking to push in transition. Roddy Gale drives, lays it up, and it's short. Purdue needs some triples. 6.5 minutes left. They're down 14. Braden, wing ball screen with Clough. Braden drives, lays it up and in. So nice finish there by Braden, and it is down to 12. 14 points in the second half here for Braden. He was having a really bad game. He's starting to, a couple of possessions in a row here where he's starting to figure it out. He's gotten some hands on some balls on defense, and he's starting to create a little bit better here. And they're going to call a foul on Trey Kaufman-Renn here. Off the ball. He doesn't like it. And they're showing the last play here, this dagger three by McKinney. Great ball movement, and that thing was pure through the net. And you could see the visible disgust from the Purdue crowd after that shot went in. So Cadeau now has it for Michigan. Lendeborg, now guarded by Kaufman-Renn. Cadeau driving. Cadeau lays it up. Off the window, no good. Rebound is up in the air, and it's corralled by Cadeau, and he throws it out of bounds off of Lawyer. What a great play here by Elliot Cadeau. And he is headed out of bounds there if he doesn't throw that back off of Lawyer. Great play there by the North Carolina transfer. And it's into McKinney, and Braden steals it. He fires it back to Clough. Lawyer takes the triple. Airball. Huh. So Fletcher Lawyer has airballed 2 big threes here that would have brought this team back a little bit closer, but that was nowhere close. This was a great steal by Braden, and then he just has to fling this thing back in bounds, and it's to Clough, but ultimately the Lawyer 3 was nothing but air. So Michigan's still up 12 here, 5:24 remaining, and Cadeau sensed the defender was too close to him, and he flails and gets the foul. Smart play there by Cadeau. He sees CJ Cox's hand in there. He knows that if he rises up, he's going to get the foul, and that's exactly what he did. So Elliot Cadeau playing a really nice game here, especially in the second half. And he'll go to the line for 3. And the first free throw gets the roll. And the second one is good too, so it's 74-60. And it feels like that lawyer miss is going to be the one that we're going to look back on and see if, well, maybe if that had gone in, things could have been a little bit differently here. But Michigan, as the third free throw by Cadeau, is no good. So 2 for 3 for Cadeau. But feels like Purdue has played a pretty solid second half here, but it's just so hard to go on extended runs on this Michigan team. Braden steps back for 3. It's no good, but Kaufman-Renn gets the rebound and lays it up and in. So a nice play there by Trey Kaufman-Renn. And he may have been fouled also there. Braden shooting threes, they have to. And it's Kaufman-Renn who comes down with the board. And yeah, I mean, that's a foul on Merez. And I believe they called this an N1. Yeah, it's going to be Kaufman-Renn to the line here. And he has got his season high in points at 26 today. And the free throw is good to make that 27. And the crazy thing is he missed quite a few shots that he probably should have made earlier in the game. But they've had to go to him a lot. And now it's back down to 11. 5 points, 5 minutes remaining. Lendenborg crosses over. Gives it up to Namari Burnett. They give it to Merez inside. Merez Johnson backing down Clough. Merez spins. Merez pump fakes. A lot of movement there as he lays it up. No good. Gets his own rebound. Flips it up again. It's short again. Gets his own rebound again, and he is fouled. So a great effort there by Merez Johnson to clean up his own mess. Purdue fans want to travel. And you can certainly see why, because that pivot foot is moving. But, I mean, just a great effort from Merez. And if that's not been a great example of how this game has gone, Purdue's had some good first shot defense, but they've been unable to get enough defensive rebounds. So it's 2 shots here for Merez, and the first free throw is good. And he goes 2 for 2. So 76-63. It's a 13-point lead for Michigan here. 4:42 remaining. Purdue is going to need something crazy here. Can they hit enough threes? Lawyers missed his last few, even though he's probably their best option. And Braden looks for Fletcher, and he throws it right out of bounds. Seems like that little 3-man exchange there, Michigan knew that was coming. And they were able to cover it really well. So Mara now coming back in for Michigan. I'm watching this game on mute. I'm not sure if they've said something about him, if he's injured or something, but not sure why he's been off the court for so long. He was their best player in the first half. And so Burnett, now Mara again. Now it's Lendenborg. He's going to take the triple, and he knocks it down. Yaxel Lendenborg from downtown to give Michigan a 16-point lead. And it feels like that is the dagger. So because this timeout was called with 4:16 remaining, it will be the final media timeout. Michigan up 16, looking to put the finishing touches on what's going to be an elite road win. We'll be back. We are back from the last media timeout. There was a little bit of an incident with Fletcher Lawyer under the basket of that last three. Now, they reviewed it and they didn't find anything wrong. So, Purdue will bring the ball up down 16, but Michigan has just hit every single clutch shot today. It's just so hard to go on a run against them. And CJ Cox is going to take the corner triple, and he's going to hit it. So, that is his first points of the game. But Michigan's bench is 6 for 6 from downtown. Now, that is incredibly impressive. Not only have the stars shown out for the Wolverines, but they've gotten some great games from just about everybody today, and that's what you need to put it together a performance like this on the road. McKinney's going to take the corner triple, and it's short, and Lawyer with the rebound. Purdue in transition. Smith kicks it to Cox, corner triple. Nope, they're going to call a foul on the floor on Merez. And he doesn't love that call, but it stopped a wide-open triple from CJ Cox, so I think they'll take that. But Cadeau leading the way with 17 points, 7 assists, 4 rebounds. He's been the best player, especially in the second half. Mara with a double-double of his own. Now, he does have 4 fouls, which is probably why he hasn't played as much as I thought he would in the second half, as Braden Smith makes the first free throw. But you have Lendenborg adding 13 and 5, Kaysen with 9, McKinney with 11, Gale with 5. You just have everybody providing something. And that is why Michigan looks like they're going to be in a good position to win this game. But Michigan up 11 here with 3:34 remaining and the ball. And Braden Smith gets on the floor, and this ball is out of bounds off of Purdue. Purdue certainly leaving it all on the line here. They've played pretty solid in the second half. It just appears that this margin is just going to be a little bit too much for them to overcome. So it's Cadeau here in the coffin corner. This could be something that might be tough for them to get the ball in. That's why they have Kaufman Wren on the inbounder. And then in terms of Purdue, they haven't really had much production outside of the top two. Kaufman Wren with 27, Braden Smith with 16. Less than 30 points from the rest of the players, and that's just not going to do it. So Michigan does get it in and get it across with Elliot Cadeau here. Cadeau drives, throws it out of bounds. So a Michigan turnover here. So we have seen teams give up leads with this amount of time left. Maybe Purdue isn't ready to mark this one down as a loss, especially with Michigan's ability to turn the ball over. But Braden gets it across, and he's guarded by Lendenborg. Can Purdue hit a big three here? Braden sliding through, kicks it to CJ Cox. He can't catch it, and that's going to be tipped. Ooh, they wanted a backcourt, and they're not going to get it. Cox drives, step back triple, it's blocked. Mara throws it up to Lendenborg, Yaxel Lendenborg, Euros, and McKinney lays it up and in. So nice transition offense there by the Wolverines. And they're back up by 13. Braden slices and dices. Cox, corner triple, that's blocked. Kaufman Wren gets the rebound. Lawyer, pump fake, and he is fouled shooting the triple. So Lawyer does a nice job there of getting fouled. And he'll be at the line for 3. Some great defense here by Michigan. They know Purdue wants to shoot the triple, and they're getting their hands out and blocking a couple of these shots. So the first is good from Lawyer. So just 9 points for Lawyer tonight. Not the game that he was looking for, as he will hit double figures on the second free throw. A ton of good Big Ten games tonight, so there's still plenty of other ones to watch. You've got Wisconsin and Ohio State. Ohio State desperately need that game. UCLA, Michigan State. And 3 for 3 for Lawyer to get this thing within 10. And Michigan throws it into Yaxel, and they get it back to Godot, and they fire it up to McKinney, and a nice job there by Michigan to break the press. Godot drives, kicks it to Lindenborg in the corner, and he throws it right to Harris, and it's going to be a layup for Jakari Harris. Purdue within 8. 2 minutes remaining. Like I said, Michigan does have a propensity to turn the ball over. Purdue has had 22 points off of Michigan turnovers today. Can they get a few more? McKinney drives. Kicks it out to Merez. Kaysen now. 1:45. And they're taking the shot clock here. And Braden Smith commits the foul. So it'll be a 1-and-1 on Kaysen. And Braden Smith appears to be shaken up just a little bit. And he reaches for the ball there, and he does get it, but he does also stick his leg out and trip Kaysen. So it'll be a 1-and-1 for LJ Kaysen coming off the bench. He is 69% from the line on the season, and he gets the front end to go. So 1:41 remaining. Purdue is trailed by a significant margin all game. This is the closest that it's been in quite a while. As Kaysen gets the roll on the second, and it's back up to 10. So Michigan will head to the nation's capital where they will play Duke in a special non-conference game on Saturday. Our Michigan fan, Joe Meade, will be there. Braden Smith slices and dices to the hoop. He is fouled by Mara. So that is going to be number 5 on a die, Mara. And Braden Smith will be at the line for 2. So Michigan using their timeout here that they get for somebody fouling out of the game. Mara not happy with himself, but he had a great first half and was very responsible for Michigan pulling the lead out to about 20. So Braden Smith will be at the line here for 2. He's going to end up with a pretty nice stat line here. He has played a lot better here down the stretch as Purdue has pulled it a little bit closer as he makes the first. And 2 for 2 for Braden, so he's at 18 points. And Purdue are within 8. There's still 2 more 1-and-1s for Michigan, but Purdue really need them to turn it over. Godot throws it in to Lindenborg. Yaxel throws it to Merez, and he lays it up and in. So they're not even thinking about pulling it out, getting fouled. They're just going to take the 2 points. And Braden, step back triple, that's short. Rebounded by Benter. Harris, now back to Benter. He's going to take the long 3, and that is short as well, and it's rebounded by Merez. And they foul Godot. So 1:05 remaining here. And Godot and Benter are both pretty shaken up here on the floor. So let's see exactly what happens. So Benter is clearly trying to foul here. He gets in the grill. Oh, and they go head to head. That is not something that's going to be pleasant for either one of them. Maybe more side of the head to the side of the head, but appears that Cadeau is okay. Benter is up, but still moving around. Now they're going to look at this, but I don't know if you can really get Benter with more than a common foul here. This is just an unfortunate situation. So he reaches, he fouls him, and then they kind of just graze heads. It's not good. It probably hurt a lot, but yeah, this should not be elevated. This is, unless they're, leaving out something on the replay like they did last time when I didn't see that trip by Oscar Clough. But all right, looks like they're gonna move on. So the referees are content to let play continue here. So Merez Johnson will be going to the line. Why Merez? Cadeau was the one who was fouled. I don't get this, but it'll be Merez on the line for 2. He's going to have a double-double if he's able to make both of these free throws, but it's a 1-and-1 first. And the first free throw is good. Gets the friendly roll. And the second free throw is short. So no double-double for Merez quite yet. But Braden Smith will bring it forward here. Purdue needs some threes, and they need it fast. Braden goes all the way to the hoop, recycles it for Benter. He's going to take the triple, and he's going to knock it down. So Jack Benter from downtown, and Purdue is going to use a timeout with 51.6 remaining. So Purdue, at the very minimum, they can take away a little bit of a margin victory from this one. Looked like they were headed for a 20-plus point loss. But if they can keep this within single digits, it will not be the stain on the metrics that it appeared that it might at one point could have been. But this game has certainly dragged on quite a bit. Michigan ball up 8 with 51.6 seconds left. As long as they do not do anything stupid here, they're going to win this basketball game. I'll take this time to thank everybody for watching. Please like and subscribe. Like the stream. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it already. It means a lot as we try and grow this thing. It's been a really solid year for us. We've really increased our views and our output, and we're hoping that we can finish strong here in March Madness. All right, here's Michigan running the play for Kaysen. Purdue traps. Kaysen spins out of it, throws it full court. It's to Merez Johnson, and he lays it up and in, and the foul. So Merez gets his double-double, and he'll have a chance for a three-point play. So Merez is not interested in pulling this thing out and running clock. He's trying to score more points. And look, if you're 0 feet away, you try and do that. But Merez is... that when you become careful like that and you play not to lose, that's when bad things can happen, where you could either turn it over or maybe miss a free throw. But if it's a wide open layup or dunk, you should just take it. Perez from the line for the three-point play. It is good. So 89-78 Michigan here. It's been a pretty solid effort from Purdue in the second half. They just dug themselves too big of a hole to get out of. Braden Smith driving to the hoop. It's Kaufman-Renn, and he is blocked by Lenneborg. Ball is out of bounds. It'll go back to Michigan. So 32.3 remaining. Michigan up 11 with the ball with 30 seconds left. It was a nice cut there by Kaufman-Renn, and Lenneborg just comes from behind and gets enough of that ball. May have been a goaltend, and that's what they're looking at here, but don't think it is. So Matt Painter and Purdue will host their rivals Indiana up next on Friday. The Boilers are going to be hoping to avoid a fourth loss at home this year and to avenge an earlier loss to the Hoosiers. And then after that, they'll welcome Michigan State to town, the rare 3-game-in-a-row home streak. And if they drop this one, they'll be looking to get those two. Then they go on the road to Ohio State and Northwestern before wrapping things up here back at Mackey on March 7th against Wisconsin. And if it looks like if Purdue is not able to pull off a miraculous comeback here, their time in the Big Ten title race will be coming to an end. Michigan, at the very most, is going to lose 2 more times this year. They still have to go to Champaign to play Illinois, and they do host Michigan State on the final day. And, the other 2 games that they have less than 1% chance of losing. So it's going to be tough for Michigan not to at least get a share of the Big Ten right now. And if they go 2-2 the rest of the way, they will get that. So they're really looking at this goaltend, which Purdue has challenged. And, it's worth it at this point. Do we have or maybe the out of bounds they're challenging? Yep, looks like they're challenging the out of bounds. And you'd have to think that if this ball goes to Michigan, I think you don't consider calling off the Dogs yet, but if you do after the next time. So they're still looking at this play, and this game is, the 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time game has its perks. Certainly you wrap up a little bit quicker than if you start at 7 or after that, but this one certainly is dragging on. So I cannot see how you can overturn this. It's probably off of Perez, but you can't tell for sure. And I would say 80 to 90% of these sorts of calls, they'll just leave with the call on the floor, even though they're probably wrong. They're taking their time on this one. This has been quite the long review for a simple out-of-bounds call. And they're still over there at the table. Not sure when we'll be up next for a stream. Was planning on doing Arkansas, Alabama tomorrow. We might not be doing that. At the very minimum, we'll be back for Michigan and Duke on Saturday. That's probably going to be the one that I will stream then. And then we'll look at maybe one of the Sunday games as well. But these are doing pretty well. People are tuning in. So at least through the end of the season, I think I'm going to keep doing them. So they did actually overturn this, and they gave Purdue the ball back. So they need a triple badly. Benterg is going to take it from the same spot he made one before. No good. Merez with the rebound, and Purdue commits the quick foul. So 28.1 seconds remaining. Michigan can start to feel it that they're going to get a victory on the road here. One giant step closer to the Big Ten title. It appears at this point that it's going to be extremely likely that they win a share. They go 2-2 in their last 4 games. They will win a share. 3-1. They will be outright Big Ten champions. And that is probably fair, even though there's quite a lot of good teams in the Big Ten this year. Probably 3 to 5 teams that have a real chance to make the Final Four, but it's going to be Michigan that might win this thing by multiple games. Wisconsin, the only team to beat them, and that is going to stay true for at least another couple of days. So Merez Johnson misses both. So Purdue still up by 11 here, so we're under 30 seconds left. Purdue needs a 3. Braden Smith driving to the hoop. He is fouled, and he misses the layup. So more free throws for Braden Smith here. Not exactly the game script that myself or Joe saw coming, but we did think that the Michigan run would be too much for Purdue to overcome. And while we thought it would come in the second half, it came pretty early in this game. Pretty early in before halftime. So Merez Johnson does foul out. And for the third time, these seniors of Braden Smith and Fletcher Lawyer are going to be having lost a game at home. So the first one is good from Braden. And at this point, it's just academical in terms of the margin. So Braden goes 2 for 2, and Purdue is within single digits. We'll see if they try and foul one more time. They throw it into Kaysen, and they do foul one more time here. 16.2 remaining. Matt Painter trying to say that he was out of bounds. But it's going to be 2 shots for LJ Kaysen here. And the first free throw is good. So 2 for 2 for Kaysen. Michigan is over their average in the Big Ten. And at this point, it's just going to be an asterisk on the score. The three-pointer by Braden Smith is no good. Kaufman-Renn gets the rebound, throws it up, no good. And Michigan is going to win this one 91-80. Like I said earlier, a giant step closer to the Big Ten title. And another giant step closer to a number 1 seed. 25-1, 15-1 on the year. Purdue falls to 21-5 and 11-4. I want to thank everybody for tuning into this stream. It's a lot of fun. It's their 21st win of the year by 10-plus points. Wow, Michigan, the dominant number 1 overall team in the country as of now, and that tracks at least for tonight. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.